And welcome back to the Engage A podcast here on a beautiful Thursday night before Robby has to travel to where no one lives. So
Nobody lives in the Marquette. Just nobody lives in the UP in general.
yeah,
But
if you live
the
in
Superior Dome resides up there, and 8-man state finals are up there. So if you're bored on a Saturday afternoon and want to pay $12 to the MHCA.TV and check your boy out on the sideline report, go right ahead.
Go right ahead, indeed. All right, kind of a weak slate for November purposes. Some interesting matchups, but we don't have like the Goliaths going after each other. It's more of
That's
like
for
a bunch.
next week. That's for
Yeah,
next week. It's a trap
yeah.
week.
Trap week. Yeah. Me and Ravi have referenced that at least like 2 or 3 different weeks. And every single time we mention it, like nothing ever happens.
No, it actually is the week after we mention it that then
Yeah.
everyone gets upset and we're just like, what? This
Yeah.
is stupid.
College football has been really weird this season. It's we've been with you the whole ride. We've had a few mishaps here and there, but the show goes on. And we're gonna be here all throughout the coaching carousel, early signing day, transfer portal, and then obviously
In
spring
some ways,
ball.
I'm more excited for transfer portal coverage than I am for this because in some ways it's more entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. It could be a really weird week, and something that we just don't anticipate whatsoever. I mean, that's just kind of how it goes with this sport. So it's not like the NFL where you just watch. I don't know. I actually don't watch the NFL as a Lions, so I actually couldn't tell you what's happening on the field. But all right, let's get into this. NFL caliber team, Georgia, to all the casuals out there because they think that a college football team can compete with a professional football team. But
Hey, I
anyways,
did hear a good take on this though, and
uh,
not to interrupt. On New Heights podcast, they said, "How about you take the worst team in the NFL in like the '70s, where like size didn't matter or anything, and then put them up against like the 2019 LSU Tigers? There might be a chance. Only place where I'm like, there's a chance."
yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know. I think the closest like debate on that would be that terrible Charlotte Bobcats team, and then the Kentucky team with like Carl Anthony Towns and Devin Booker and all of them. You went on mute, by the way.
Gee, dude, you like randomly connected to my AirPods and like tripping out as this guy. I'm trying to listen to the response. What's going on, bro? Oh, technology, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
It's either your friend or it's not.
Yeah. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. But anyways, it's kind of your opinions going on to this into this game because Tennessee got mollywopped last week. We talked about it. Georgia mollywopped Ole Miss. It's kind of two teams on the opposite sides of the spectrum in terms of probably morale in the locker rooms and kind of just like expectations going forward. So, what's your thoughts, Robbie?
I think Georgia just picks up where they left off, man. This line is at 10 in favor of Georgia, and I'm just like, I don't see a world where this team doesn't win by 3 scores. I don't see a world where there's a point in this game besides the first maybe 5 minutes where it takes Georgia or Tennessee to complete their first drive. That's about as close as I see this game being. Tennessee lacks the offensive firepower to even hang with this offense, and that's because not only do they lack the firepower in terms of talent, but Georgia is going to just absolutely disrupt this offense. Their defenses, and specifically their secondary, is completely on another level. I would go as far to say that this team is complete and this team is ready to shut every single doubter up to this point up. Kirby Smart made that known on College Football Game Day that he's like, they doubt us and he don't know why, but they're here to prove him wrong, and they have been doing that off the rip. Bowers is back. Carson Beck looks like a Heisman Trophy candidate. I got dogs by a bunch.
Yeah, I mean, Tennessee does not want to play physical. I don't know if that was proven in last week's matchup against Missouri. If you're getting outclassed at the line of scrimmage by Missouri, you're probably not. Not saying Missouri's not a bad team, but like in terms of just size, like I think Tennessee, recruits a little bit better in Missouri when it comes to, the big boys up front. And when you're getting outclassed by Missouri and you're letting Cody Schrader, which phenomenal running back, not going to discredit him, but he has a historical performance. And, that's just like Georgia's probably not even going to have to throw the ball that much. But there's also Tennessee secondary. Like, I mean, they're okay up front, like on the season and when you look at it on paper, but I don't know. I just don't see a way. They also have a more methodical offensive scheme this year with their running game actually being pretty good, which is, kind of surprising. But at the same time, that's the only reason why they kind of been successful this year and trying to limit the amount of attempts of Joe Milton overthrowing his receivers. So they just lack explosive plays. They're not very successful in conference play. There's like a 10% difference in their success rate in and out of conference, and that's because you play an FCS school, Virginia, and then I honestly couldn't name the other out of conference games because they didn't matter. They didn't matter. And Tennessee's best win is what? Florida on the season? Or no, they didn't beat Florida, actually. My mistake. So yeah, no, their best win's probably Kentucky or Texas A&M, and Kentucky, like, not that good, and Texas A&M, I mean, they just fired their head coach that they just paid a boatload of money to. So, yeah, I don't see it going any other way other than Georgia. I'm kind of just want to know how quick is the game going to be over?
Yeah. I
Because this
gotta
is
just
their
believe that.
it's their third tough matchup in a row. So, and I
Right.
mean, but they're getting healthy at the right time too. Like they've had a lot of injuries throughout the season. Now, the only player that they're really missing that's impact worthy that didn't play last week was Dumas Johnson. But
It's not going to matter.
yeah,
I think the only reason why Vegas gives them the benefit of the doubt is because this game is in Neyland Stadium, and
things could get weird. Like you said, trap week. Things could get weird. So, you know, who knows?
I just I don't have much thought to this game other than just like I don't expect to be watching this game after the first quarter. Georgia's that good, ladies and gentlemen, and they moved up to the number one spot in the college football playoff for a reason, and they're not going to move.
Yeah, me and Robby were just like, I texted him, I'm like, do you want to do a reaction to this? And he's like, no.
It was that moved, and that was all I needed to see.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
we said it. I said it in the previous episode. Like that's all I want to see. That's all I care about.
yeah. All right, time to move on to. It's gonna be a fun game on Saturday, I believe. Oregon State, Washington, taking place in Corvallis. It's supposed to be rainy but not windy, so it's gonna be a fun matchup, man. Like I'm very intrigued. I wonder how the pace of the game is gonna go because I think that's gonna determine on because Washington, you want to limit the amount of times, or if you're Oregon State, you want to limit the amount of times that Washington has the ball because Penix is the best passing quarterback in the country. He is the best passer. I don't think there's any disagreement on that. And yes, he's got a talented receiver room, even without Jalen McMillan, but they're very successful, right? They've had one bad game against Arizona State, which there was a flu problem, and that's actually, playing with the flu. I mean, unless you're Michael Jordan, you're your greatest athlete of all time, or Dirk. Dirk did it too. But I, it's kind of comes down to how many stops can Washington put up, or can they generate any turnovers and get them to passing downs? I think that matters the most. But
I see a world where Oregon State can really dictate the pace of play. And that is how you beat this Washington team. And they can dictate the pace of play for two reasons. One, they're talented. Oregon State is very talented throughout the entire offense. But two, we've seen this now, and it's out there. Washington's defense is not good. There's holes. And it's not that they have the ceiling to be good, but they have just been so inconsistent. So you don't know what team you're going to get out there, you're going to be playing against. And I think that's going to play to Oregon State's advantage. However, if Michael Penix can just be Michael Penix and the guy we saw to start this season and the guy
he's still been really fun.
He has. This is the game that will lock him the Heisman up.
Yeah.
I truly believe that. He goes off, done. Everyone, they're literally underdogs in this game. Like,
Yeah.
he's going into a hostile environment. This might be the last time there's a
Kalen
Pac-12
DeBoer is
This
a
is the
winner.
last time there's ever
Yeah.
a Pac-12 matchup in Oregon State. This is probably the last time these two teams face off for
You see how
a
much
long
money
time.
they're getting from that lawsuit? Them
Who?
and Washington State, I believe, are getting like 400 million each, from what I've heard. But it's going to be used to like get teams to like get back to the Pac-12, or because I don't think they can just move to the Mountain West and keep that and like hire Jimbo and like pay him like $200 million and for like a 15-year contract. But yeah, they're getting a lot of money from that settlement. So or whatever.
Interesting. I did not catch that. That's rare for news to slip past me like that.
Yeah. A bunch of news on like a bunch of returning quarterbacks, Quinn Ewers, Jalen Daniels,
Jackson
Dart.
Dart.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which I feel bad for Walker Howard because I actually do think that kid's going to be legit. But
I don't feel bad for him at all. I think that kid has now got the opportunity to transfer and go to
he's
there's so
already
many programs.
he's already transferred once. That's the thing.
Oh my gosh, he's the LSU kid.
Yep.
He actually threw the football to one of my buddies at a post grad. I forget that he was an LSU commit and signed and went. Yeah, you're right. That's tough. That's tough.
So unless he's got really good reasoning, we'll see.
Lane Kiffin leaves, then he's got the instant.
Oh boy.
He does.
Yeah. But besides that, also your boy Harbaugh sticking out that suspension.
I love it. I love it. Jim's trying to send a message.
Yeah.
Here's the message.
He ain't coaching next year.
Oh, it's not that. Here's the message.
He's going to the Chicago Bears.
He's saying, you sorry motherfuckers want to see something? You think that we're all just about these signs? That they need me? You want to make all these excuses? I'm going to go let my guy, the man who cried about me on television, go out and win the two most important games of the regular season. And then I'll be back to win the Natty. And then he might rise and he might be sent off into the sunset. And
Chicago Bears.
Man, listen. Here's the only thing I'm going to say on this NFL rumor crap. Jim Harbaugh's going to the NFL, not going to the NFL because nobody wants him. Nobody wants it. Nobody wants this drama. The NFL doesn't want this. The NFL doesn't need this.
I don't know. Chicago Bears aren't necessarily the best when it comes to front office decisions. So,
if he's going to go to the Bears, it would just warm my little heart if he drafts J.J. McCarthy and puts him over the Ohio State alum, Justin Fields, just as another little smack in the mouth.
You would have to trade Fields. You'd have to trade Fields.
They trade Fields for the pick, and then they draft McCarthy.
They have 2 first-rounders.
Get another one. Give Harbaugh the capital.
JJ.
JJ. I'm just kidding. I don't care what he does, man.
You gotta draft Mikey Sanders Joe in the first round.
Okay. He's not drafting Mikey Sanders. Mikey Sanderson's not going in the first round. Holy cow, this guy.
No, they'll draft one of the 8 D linemen. Anyways, yeah, but back to serious thoughts and about what's gonna happen this weekend, not what's gonna happen in 2024 NFL draft. Which you better stick around for around that point because me and Robby are gonna
live cast from downtown Detroit.
Yeah, I forget the drafts in Detroit this year.
It's legendary.
Shit, we gotta go now. Also, you might catch me and Robby at the MAC championship game.
Yeah, catch us actually on the field streaking because we love Daquan Finn so much.
Me and Robby are gonna go shirtless. We're gonna write "I love Daquan."
I love Daquan.
Yeah, right there. But no. Yeah, I mean, this game, like I said, it's going to be determined by the pace. I think that really is going to be, that's kind of the key factor into this. If you're Oregon State and you want to win this, you want to, it's just how much possessions does Michael Penix have with the football? But at the same time, like Oregon State's secondary is it's not that good. And they haven't really played a good passing offense yet. And they're about to face back-to-back. So
what does this do if Oregon State wins this game to the playoff? In your opinion, does it give any sort of life to Oregon State?
No, unless they were to win this game and then win against Oregon and somehow make the Pac-12 championship and play in that too. I mean, I think it's pretty much dead from here, but who knows? I mean, anything can happen, you know. You can see Bama lose to Chattanooga this weekend. Like,
Man, don't
it's
say
a
that.
just throwing it out there. Throwing it out there.
Don't
Yeah.
say that, man. I'm rooting for him, dude. I want to see Bama in
It's
this
only
thing.
because you made a preseason prediction on it. It's the only reason why. Anyways, all right. Enough thoughts about that game because, like I said, it doesn't really come down to like a player, or it really just it comes down to pace and time management, like in time of
Absolutely.
possession.
This game is going to be a coaching duel. It's going to be a chess match.
Yeah, then Kalen DeBoer, 111 as a head coach. For those that did not know, he's a winner. So I'm gonna take Washington. It's not an upset pick because I don't believe that like a 2-point underdog's really an upset. But
Yeah, no, I'm going Washington too, but that's not an offset pick, man.
speaking of a team that we did not think would be favored ever against a top 25 team, but hey, they're a top 25 team as well because committee recognizes talent. And, Noah Fafita is the best quarterback in the country. Like, don't really.
Well, okay, I'm gonna comment on something real quick. So there's a top 10 quarterback list came out by CBS, okay? And in this
Oh, it's
list,
probably by my boy Tom Fernelli. Yeah. Anyways,
and in this list, there's names like Jaden Daniels, Jordan Travis, McCarthy, Milrow, whatever.
Jordan Travis been a top 10 quarterback this year.
That's what I'm saying. But there's names on this list that don't include Noah Fafita, and I'm baffled. I'm sorry. I agree. The man that hails down in Illinois, in Champaign, Illinois,
Yeah,
does he deserve the nod?
but
Sure.
he's an Illinois guy, so he's gonna put him on that list.
John Reese Plumlee, does he deserve it?
Yes,
Sure. But
yes,
Noah
yeah,
Fafita does too.
yeah. I mean, it's Colorado. Say what you want, but I mean, he played good against Colorado. Like, there's no denying it. And
Man, he's been playing good this whole
well,
time.
this is going to be a really good test because this Utah defense is legit, and I think if
Fafita for
you're
Heisman.
Arizona's got a good defense too. Like if you've watched Arizona this season, which you're with me and Robby on this, like their defense is good, and they got a run game in Jonah Coleman too. So, you know, if they can get past, I think 28 points, I think it's a done deal. Like Utah's offense is not good with Bryson Barnes. It was proven last week. Washington literally stopped Utah in the second quarter, and we know Washington's defense is scary in not a good way. Speaking of which, Drake's dropping scary hours threes as well. Man, we're just on the ball with staying on topic, but I don't even think Robby knew that. So, and he just dropped for all the dogs like a month ago too. Yeah.
I'm not going to let this get off topic. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, we're not turning into a hip hop podcast unless that's something you really want to see. But
Hey, we did that for a class, and it was
yeah, we did.
It was interesting.
It was interesting. Oh my God, the Ravens are up 24-13. Jeez. Anyways, did Pitt win? I'm assuming so. I was watching.
Guys, if you ever wanted to know what ADD looks like on a live stream broadcast, this is it. This is it. Not saying either one of us have it. I'm just saying we sometimes are. I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know.
sometimes you just gotta let the thoughts ramble, and
Right. It's entertaining. It's become the thing you can expect in the Engage 8 podcast.
Yeah, I mean, great analysis and breakdown, but also,
Just
we're not just a college football podcast, man. We can vary the
have more to
discussion.
offer, guys.
Yeah.
But in this game, Arizona's actually favored, and I'm gonna ride with that.
They're like
told you
they're like 8-2 against the spread this year. Like they're really good.
Dude, I'm gonna ride this Fafita train for as long as he lets me. And
I'm really interested to see how well, because Arizona, like, what good defenses have they really played recently, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be interesting to see how well Fafita in this offense plays. I mean, McMillan's a really good receiver too. So, It's gonna be interesting. I'm excited.
I'm excited. I'm
I wonder
really
if
excited.
Gronk's gonna be there. That's what I'm gonna say.
You're wondering if Gronk is gonna be there?
I don't know, but is he gonna be in like that tank top, or is he gonna be just gonna go like coat and
No, he's
sunglasses?
gonna go. He's gonna suit up. Could you imagine?
Could you,
This team would be top 10 with Gronk. Noah Fafita would be in the Heisman
no,
conversation.
should be anyways. There's another 3-loss team at the quarterback in the Heisman conversation. Why not? No, Fafita didn't play all year, and he doesn't. Arizona's not.
And he's not
Arizona's
Jaden Daniels.
oh yeah, no, and Arizona's not a sexy school. Like LSU's a sexy school. Like when it comes to
But in some ways they are, because in other sports they are.
yeah,
so
but
they can be. Like in basketball they are.
yeah, but basketball they just take every single foreign recruit, put them on a basketball team, and say go out there and play.
You're terrible.
I'm
Don't
not.
take my thunder. They're a sexy basketball school.
No, they are. Like it's a really good program. I'm just saying, like football wise, like Arizona, like up until this point, hasn't been crap. So
it's a fair point. That is a fair point, my brother, but I'm taking Arizona.
yeah, I'm taking Arizona as well. I really like this Utah team too. So it kind of hurts me. But like
yeah.
Utah's just been hurt all year. Like if you look at
literally all year, man,
yeah,
they've been missing the guy.
Well, no, they're like missing like 8 players. That's
I know, but dude, without Cam Rising, his team is truly different.
Isn't he coming back too?
I don't even know if he's still alive.
He's on the sidelines.
But is it him or is this another DeMar Hamlin thing? I don't know, man. It wouldn't surprise me nowadays. The guy just went freaking like
Robby's out here.
MIA.
Spewing. Anyways, all right. Louisville, Miami. I'm actually really interested to watch this. I know.
Wonder why? Oh, maybe because this guy upsets the cards.
No, like seriously, like I just don't understand why Miami's favored. You're having Van Dyke come. It's not like this Miami team's played good all year, right? Like ever since really like the beginning of the season, this team's kind of been crap. Like the only thing I could say positively is like their secondary. Like that's about it. Like
yeah.
I mean, they had that freshman running back last week that played really well, but like, I mean, Williams is hurt. You bring back Van Dyke, who you literally benched and literally says that football does not control his happiness, which, you know, just like, like, do you think he really cares at this point? Like, I don't think he's going to be on an NFL draft board anymore. Like, it's not even to the point where he's like, because I think he's talented enough, but like now that we just see that he kind of just doesn't give a shit and doesn't really like, it doesn't have effect on like his emotional life, which maybe it's a good thing. He can stay composed, but obviously it's not with the play of recency. So, you know, Louisville's played bad on the road this season. I will give them that. Like they've only had 3 true road games and you lost one of them. And then last week, you know, they didn't play good at Virginia. So, I don't know. I think it's really comes down to how is Miami going to stop the run, which they let Benson kind of like have free will, especially in open space. So it'll be interesting. I honestly don't even like, I'm going to roll the cards, obviously, because, you know, my bias there, but I'm really interested to see how this game goes. Like deep down, it's an interesting matchup.
It's a matchup that I truly think will. I don't know. I think Vegas is wrong. I'm going cards too. I don't have an ounce of belief in this Miami team. So
yeah, it's just like
that's all
watching watching Miami play this year. Like they've had some like I will say I was very impressed by the receiving room this year. I think those guys have stepped up like to compared to last year. I think you know it's just a team that like I just don't think they orchestrate well, and I think it's due to who's on the sideline with the main headset. Like, I don't think Cristobal's like really ever been a good coach. Like that's my personal honest opinion. I think Cristobal's is a great recruiter, but when it comes to coaching the game, and Jeff Brom's kind of the opposite. Jeff Brom like is probably one of the a top 10 coach on game day in game planning and putting guys in the right situation.
I'll agree with that. That's a good take. And There's
No,
other guys
yeah,
that's not.
it's
I
just
don't.
like it's not like I don't have anything to back it up. Look at the success he had at Purdue. He took Purdue to a Big Ten championship and had multiple upsets, which for Purdue, other than Braum, like they're not like look at them this season. Yeah, obviously there was some talent that left, and when you have a new head coach, it's kind of hard to take over the reins and everything. But like, there's a legitimate difference in that program and the legitimate impact. And Louisville really wasn't anything good for a couple years now. Like, yeah, they had Malik Cunningham. He was electric, and like they could make a bowl game some years, maybe go like 8-4. Well, like they don't have that degree of success with now they do with Brom. And I don't think it's just going to be like, a one season thing. Sure, they're probably not going to go 10-2, 11-1 every season, but they're gonna be a team that fights for the ACC championship every year.
I, I don't have. I can't find any fault in any of that statement.
He also just finds random receivers from nowhere that are really good. I mean, Jamari Thrash, Charlie Jones, Rondale Moore, David Bell. Like
It's impressive.
it's kind of becoming a consistent thing. And also quarterbacks that are super inconsistent, like Aiden O'Connell, and then now Jack Plummer. So
Aiden Plummer.
Aiden Plummer.
Aiden O'Connell. He wasn't horrible at Purdue.
Well, no, he had his bright spots for sure. I remember one game specifically that he threw for like 500 yards and ruined the season. But but that's besides the point.
Is that about that team in green and white and Hales and East
Yeah,
Lansing that just hired Urban Meyer?
I wish they had just hired Urban Meyer. We might be getting Tony Elliott. So,
hey man, I think it's a quality hire.
I don't.
I do. That's speaking from a Michigan fan.
Shut up. You want that to happen. Shut up.
Frick yeah, I do. You kidding me?
I don't know. It'd be very. I like this.
No, I want Urban. I want to beat Urban. I want to beat the best.
Okay, this is actually before we move on to our next game, which involves two, overrated ACC programs. Once more, because the ACC is just a bad conference. What would you say that UCLA is a better job or Michigan State?
You're in Los Angeles. You have the money to pay the guys that you need. You have the facilities. Not saying that MSU's facilities they're not lacking in that point anymore.
Well, they have money too. It's not like they don't.
No, they got money. But I think the attraction of Los Angeles is it's huge in terms of recruiting. Nobody really wants to come out to Michigan. It's hard to get those guys that don't live in the Midwest to come to Michigan and want to be here and have it be home. But to even take this question anywhere else, if it's not MSU, I really don't believe Urban Meyer's going anywhere. I do not think he's getting back into coaching. It's either MSU or he walks and just stays on Fox.
Or he waits for that job in Tuscaloosa.
Man, he's not. Dude.
I think it'd be hilarious if Michigan opened and he took that job.
If Ward Manuel gave Urban Meyer an interview, I'd piss on all of my Michigan stuff on a live stream and never watch a game again. That's absolute blasphemy. Absolute blasphemy. If he even gets an interview. I don't even want to see that guy I don't want to see a Block M even painted on his face. Screw that. I'm good.
I'm just saying it would be.
Wouldn't
it be hilarious?
Hilarious. Oh my gosh.
I don't think I'd be mad at that point.
I'd be so upset.
I think it'd be such a mixed opinion. I don't think would they sell out their stadium still if everyone?
No, dude, nobody would come. I think nobody'd play for him either.
It'd be cool if he did feel like
he would take that job. This is Urban Meyer. Like, this is the only guy I can say this about with and actually have some truth behind the statement. Urban Meyer would take that job and he'd be like, all right, Tommy Doman, you're the quarterback now. All right. I don't even know. Like, Rayshon Benny, you're the freaking running back now. Like, he would just trash that program, burn it to the ground, double bird the stadium, and walk out mid-game.
He'd somehow get Carlos Hyde there.
Terrell Pryor comes back in an alter ego.
All right. UNC Clemson. No, Mac Brown's not retiring. That was a statement released by the assistant AD of North Carolina today. But it's an interesting matchup between two, head coaches that are kind of on the negative side of opinionated college football fans.
Can you blame him?
No, I don't. UNC, I mean, their two losses are to two programs that they probably should have beat in Virginia and Georgia Tech. And then Clemson, like, it's been a rough year. And
Why don't you just wake up and get with the trend? Like, Dabo, I'm
well,
sorry.
it's not even that. It's just like, I mean, they've had their problems throughout the year. I think it's more of a coaching and staff thing because there's just always so much turnover there and there's no consistency. Like, I bet every recruit that goes, every player on that team at their position coach, like, I'm not saying position coaches stay for the longest time or even coordinators, but there's been no sort of consistency other than Dabo Sweeney there. Like, there's every single coach that goes to Clemson always looking for a
I'm
different.
sorry, but that just sounds like Alabama, and Alabama had sustained success. That is what happens when you are good.
Well, it's just leadership, and I don't think there's anything there. Dabo kind of has just like not really like
Adapt or
aimed.
die, man. Adapt or die, and I think it's more than just a transfer portal I'm talking
Well,
about.
yeah, well, it's not even that.
His system just doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing with Nick Saban is he even recognizes that he's got to use the portal. And yes, Alabama gets a higher level of recruit than Clemson. That's obvious. But to
But
what?
I just don't understand that because this team was the team to beat for a good 4 years in college football. They had arguably one of the greatest college football quarterbacks of all time in Trevor Lawrence, and you can throw Deshaun Watson in that conversation too. Nobody's going to call you crazy for that.
They've had
So
countless of defensive players be successful there.
countless. T. Higgins, guys, like that guy's a wide receiver one on any team in the NFL. Truthfully, any team.
Yeah, I mean, you had D
Who am
Hop,
I?
Sammy
Who am I missing? D
Watkins.
Hop, Sammy Watkins, Hunter Renfro.
Yeah, like
The list goes
there's
on.
talent everywhere on that team, and they if you watch them play, like you see the level of athlete that Clemson has. Like it's still good. Like the running backs there and Maffa and Shipley, like those are two hard nosed guys.
Absolutely. Now, everybody knew that the DJU, the outcome of what he was going to set the program on a path to just absolute, just eternal glory, or it was going to ruin it the way it is right now. I'm not saying this thing's burned to the ground, but it's still on fire and nobody's attending to it. So, and I'll elaborate on that a little more. DJ was hyped up. I mean, it was him and Bryce Young in that class. They were clashing in high school at Mater Dei in St. John Bosco. We knew that those two guys, the anticipation was they were going to meet in a national championship. We see DJ play against Notre Dame on the big stage. Doesn't win the football game. Kid balled, though. So everyone's super excited about him. He gets his shot, and he blows it. I mean, blows it. And everyone thought that the blame
But
was on
like,
him.
who was he throwing to? Like,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what I'm trying to say is like we all try to put it on him. But I think the thing that got the most exposure was when he went to Oregon State and everyone's like, oh, wait, DJU, that's a kid that's a great quarterback. This kid's going to play in the NFL. Oh, wait, it's only because you put weapons in his hands? Like, no, yeah, the kid had a line. Like, the kid's a competent quarterback. And then Cade Klubnik, because remember, they weren't just getting one top recruit at the quarterback position. They got two. And Cade Klubnik absolutely looks like a headless chicken out there, man. And now the question goes right
that's
to
the description. Holy shit.
now the blame, now the spotlight gets put on not the quarterback, but the guys on the sideline. The coaching staff.
A headless chicken. Yeah,
I didn't hesitate. I didn't hesitate.
No, I mean that's a perfect way to put it. To be honest, like I can, like the only thing that's really, like, yes, their defense has been good, but not great this season. And how much of it is the players and how much is it, putting your guys in the right position? I don't know. The only thing that's really looked good is their running back room. And obviously, this is a physical football team. North Carolina is not North Carolina. They like to play really close games and let Drake May have those game winning drives. And I think they're just purposely bumping up his stock to do so.
So I got a question. What is more disappointing? The fact that we did not see Drake May in a college football playoff game, or that we did not see Caleb Williams in a college football playoff game?
I don't think I didn't expect North Carolina to make the playoffs.
Thank you. Thank you.
I just it wouldn't now what I thought back in a nice cold January, December-ish time, Drake May should have probably transferred. I just wanted it anywhere but Bama.
But even then, it's just
no, dude, that team would be disgusting with it had Drake May. Holy shit. He would be the Heisman. No, but if he went to I guess he wouldn't go to Texas, but a team like Texas,
yeah, where else would Drake May have fit?
Oklahoma would be really good. They had that.
Yeah.
They would have stayed healthy. UCLA. He should have just went to Colorado, to be honest.
He's
Michigan.
not.
Michigan. That would be cool.
He's not better than JJ. Not in that offense. Drake May would not succeed. You got to understand that takes a certain type of human being to be in that offense.
Yeah, it takes a lot to hand off the ball 32 times in a row.
It does for your ego. You got to swallow your pride.
I mean, yeah, Drake May loves
32 times in a game, but he's thrown 40 plus.
You know what? No.
Too.
You know where Drake May would fit in?
Michigan State.
No. Miami. Miami would be perfect for him. What do you mean no? Or Texas A&M?
I don't. Texas A&M, I could see a little bit more.
Yeah. UCLA.
Sure.
Trying to think where else. None of these teams that I'm thinking about need Tennessee. Dude, what? Holy
shit. Yeah. There we go. That's it right there.
Holy shit.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay, we got distracted. Typical shenanigans here. But no, when it comes to this matchup, I heard Clemson's kind of got an injury bug at corner, and who's going to cover Tez Walker and the other guys like Jones and Copenhaver? It's going to be interesting. So let's take UNC. I even though they're not going to have any postseason aspirations, I just love watching Drake May play. And Amarion Hampton's one of the most underrated running backs in the country. No one ever talks about him, and he produces at a crazy rate. So
absolutely,
give me the Tar.
Amarion Hampton. Yeah, I'm taking the Tar Heels too. I want to see a legacy game out of Drake May. Is this the last ACC matchup for the kid? Is this it? I believe it is, right?
Who do they play?
No, they play NC State next.
Oh,
but
yeah, that's
the last
a huge game.
Yeah, but this is the last marquee ACC matchup, and this kid's just dominated this conference for the entire time that he's been there. Not in terms of win-loss,
but
statistics and dominance, just as a quarterback over everyone else. So I want to see him leave his mark in a big way.
I forgot one more team that could have used Drake May this offseason.
Yeah.
Ohio State.
Dude, you want to talk about disgusting? You want to Drake May on Ohio State, the playoff says, hey, listen, here's your trophy. We're gonna let another team play. Here's your Heisman too. Have fun. You can go declare on the draft right now because
Dale O'Brien, Unitas, all those.
Oh, he's the Maxwell. He's everything, dude.
Yeah. They'd probably give him a Remington trophy.
They give him just complete control of the NCAA. You want to vote for the playoff? You go ahead.
You want to let James Madison in? Go for it, dude.
Yeah.
All right. Michigan versus Maryland. Yes, this game we have to talk about because there's nothing else to talk about.
There isn't. Josh Gaddis, welcome back to Ann Arbor. You're gonna get clapped, but welcome back.
Okay. I legitimately think that Maryland, if they really try, and Michigan has a little bit of a letdown slash hangover or a look ahead in the first half. I'm not saying throughout the whole game because I
Well,
think
we
they'll
know that's gonna happen. This is how the game's gonna play out. I turned on the Penn State game and I'm sitting next to my dad. I said, Dad, Michigan's gonna look like absolute dog water for the first 3 drives because that's Michigan. And then we're gonna get to the third quarter and the game is gonna be over. They're not gonna score. That's what's gonna happen. Michigan is just going to have a tough time. They're gonna have a tough time just acclimating to
But
whatever
can
from
Maryland really put
whatever.
up I just don't think Maryland's gonna put up stops.
No, no. But I don't think the offense is going to do anything either, unless
Although
Toledo.
I will say that in their game against Nebraska last week, which it's Nebraska, so take it's what it's worth. They forced 5 turnovers last week, 4 interceptions. And
Congratulations. Who's their quarterback? Yeah, that's what I thought.
who? Maryland?
Nebraska.
Oh, no, it's not Sims. It's that other
Who
kid.
cares? They suck. Matt
Yeah.
Rule, get it together, buddy. I'm just kidding. Matt Rule, I still have a lot of respect for the fact that you won 5 games this year. But
Hey, Michigan State beat them, so
right, that's what I'm saying. They're basically a high school football team. Just
Okay, well,
let them play in the state finals this weekend. They're already going to Penn State, or they're already playing Penn State at Ford Field. Let them at least have played to their competition over there in the Division I state finals. Maybe let them give Belleville a run for their money.
Okay.
I'm just kidding, dude. That would be so ugly.
But no, I mean, watching. I have a huge upset pick for next week, anyways. So I already have it pre-planned because I don't think Penn State's gonna. If they really struggle this weekend, like Michigan State, they're gonna want to end out on a bang. So already foreshadowing. It's gonna be the Sam Levitt legacy game moving forward.
Do they give the fans the permission to charge Ford Field if they win that game?
Yeah, for like the
They
2000.
make them a trophy too, just so that they
For
can
like
bully some hardware.
for like the stadium that's at like 30% capacity. Yeah. Like me and Robby talked about going, but he's like, I don't even want to go.
No. No. Then both teams are just so unentertaining. But in terms of this game, Michigan, they're going to win. It's going to be a big one. Sharon Moore's going to cry again because he got his 3rd win. And he's going to give some speech about Ohio State. And, it's going to fire up the guys in the locker room. He's going to get memed for it. But there's going to be no hangover.
That's kind of the Michigan thing, though, to get memed. Like, they don't care. They really don't.
There is zero care. There is not a guy in that locker room that cares even a little bit about what is said on social media. They don't care. And I'm here for
what
it.
they got to do instead of the Big Ten logo, because I think they hate the Big Ten now. They just got to put bet on there.
Just bet.
Yeah,
that's great. I saw that their most recent quarterback commit, Carter Smith, 4-star, he put bet on his commitment post. And I'm like, listen, man, if you weren't sitting on that plane, please don't say it. You have no ties. You haven't even signed a letter of intent. You have no ties. Don't say that. You're just cringy.
Robby doesn't even want that kid anyways.
No. What? Come on. There's one kid I want, and I want him more than anybody. And I think everyone else in the country can agree. Bryce Underwood, please, for the sake of God, just give Harbaugh a call. He's waiting for you.
He might change that decision depending on there's a specific coach going to East Lansing.
Jesus.
Anyways,
I think though that it's interesting to note, and Vegas has been doing this in all the games that we've been talking about. Vegas's lines, they're opening my eyes a little bit. 19-point favorites. I get it. It's in Sekou Stadium in College Park, but without Harbaugh on the field, does that really change the line that much? I don't know.
Well, and I mean, it's obvious they probably know Maryland's plays, and all those coaches that took that poll with the Athletics said that it's a 10-point difference. So would Michigan be favored by 9.5 if this whole thing wasn't happening? I don't know.
9.5. You mean 29?
Well, I'm saying they should. No, I'm saying that if they're
But
at
I
it,
actually don't know. I think that they don't know their plays. I think everyone's changed. So therefore, they should be favored by 29, but they're favored by 19 because they don't know their plays.
you guys want to know what I told Robby before? All right. So if you look at Michigan's schedule and their scores, okay, you play really bad out of conference. It's really, really, really once they get to Big Ten play, they kind of look a little bit better, right? Do you think that, it's week 1, week 2, week 3, you don't know the plays, but once it gets to that conference play season,
You know what?
I don't know, it's
If
just a
no, what? No,
theory.
no, no, no. If we had a call line for live listeners, if we did this thing live to call in, you would get absolutely just torn apart right now. And I think even Michigan State fans, I think even some, you know,
There's
Iowa fans,
I think
whatever
it's
he
a
may
more
be.
satire than anything, but
I hope so, man. Because he would lose all credibility if he would love to die on that hill. But whatever.
I think with me laughing about
Yeah, it definitely tells a story. This guy is not that dumb, I promise. I promise, I promise, I promise. I got the Wolverines over the Terps, and they
Yeah,
won't, not even close.
All right, Texas, Iowa State. Before we get into some upset picks,
This could be a weird game.
yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. But the one problem is that Iowa State has the worst rushing attack in the Big 12, and if you want to be,
Devondre Sweat's on the other side.
well, no, it's just the whole defensive line of
Well,
Texas,
yeah, they're just gonna
the best,
manhandle.
arguably the best defensive line in the country.
I'd say it's the best group of 4 guys, 5
Yeah,
guys,
yeah,
whatever you
yeah,
want to call it.
yeah. No, I'd say like the best starting defensive line in the country. Um, and Iowa State really has kind of struggled to score over 30 points or more, and those are against not good Big 12 defenses, as that's kind of the conference identity. And Texas is just taking a different approach since they're not going to be in the Big 12 next year. This Texas team, I think if they get to 27 points, it's over. Because Iowa State, they rely on explosive plays and good field position, and I don't think they're going to get that this game because I think with Quinn Ewers knocking off that rust, CJ Baxter's going to have the best game and explode onto the scene. They're going to be fine. I'm really not concerned. I know that a lot of people think that we should be, but that's why I put it on here. But I'm not. There's no reason to. Texas is, if you give them the eye test when they're at their best, top 3 team.
Top 3, huh?
Yeah. When they play at their peak, they are better than Ohio State. It's them.
Same team that won by 3 against TCU.
I'm saying when they play at their best, they look like a top 3 team. I'm not saying they play like that all the time. I'm just saying when you see the peak of that team in terms of talent.
Yeah. I'm just going to make this observation, and I don't know how much it's true, but I think, at least in my head, it makes sense. Losing Jonathan Brooks is going to be just as impactful towards the team's success as it was when they lost Quinn Ewers.
Yeah.
Yes, they slipped by, but this team can have a hard time doing it. CJ Baxter has the potential to be a great running back, but that kid.
It's not like, Jonathan Brooks has all those reps in games and kind of has a feel for like what to do in terms of mesh and like reading holes and knowing the playbook. Like Baxter, yeah, he's gotten in there, but he hasn't gotten that workload. It's going to be a different type of in-game conditioning for him. And it's kind of late in the season to like really start to get that going. Yeah, you don't have a hard rest of the schedule. I would even argue that the Big 12 championship is probably not going to be that hard for you anymore. So, it's weird. It's a weird times in the Big 12. I don't know who they're going to play. So
I don't even know if they're going to represent in the college football playoff.
Yeah, it's a really tough road for them at this point, and that's kind of just
that Alabama loss, man. It's a stinger. It's
You mean that Oklahoma loss because they beat Alabama?
Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry, sorry.
wrong.
Alabama's losing that game is a stinger to them.
Yeah,
But
no,
yes, the
but Bama,
Oklahoma loss looks terrible.
there's going to be a lot of controversy if all these teams end up winning out, which I don't see happening. I think someone's going to fall. Like the dominoes are going to fall into place. It's going to happen the way it's supposed to be. And if it doesn't, I don't know how much I trust the committee because I feel like with even all the teams having success, we're going to see 2 Big Ten teams in.
Man, you really think so?
I don't know because, I mean,
Man, I'm just what I'm not
it
prepared
really
for.
depends how that game goes. Like to be completely honest with you, it really depends how that game goes. If it comes down to a final possession or
Who?
the Michigan Ohio State game, like I'm saying,
Yeah, I would agree with you. I'm just listen. As a college football fan, I completely
I
despise the
yeah,
2 time a year Georgia Alabama. There was a time when it happened 3 times. I despise that, man. I think it's stupid. I don't think it allows. It doesn't let that game until it's the final one have all of the hype and like pressure that it should. So to know that these teams go in next week and they're like, oh, hey, I could be the 2 seed, you could be the 3 seed, we could meet in 2 weeks. It's like, or 2 games, I should say, not 2 weeks. It just takes everything away from the game. I don't think that that should be a thing. If anything, let the Big 12 represent, man. Texas would hang. Texas would not look like a fluky opponent out there
well,
like
they'd
an
be able
Oklahoma
to get
would.
completely healthy and let Ewers like finally like really heal up his shoulder and everything
Right?
too. So
Like you guys forget this kid was top 3 in the Heisman race, in my opinion, before he got hurt.
yeah, like the kid was really good, really, really freaking good. I mean, I don't know. I think whoever I'm really hoping that bet you made about burning every single piece of Michigan gear happens.
If we
Uh
lose to Iowa in the Big Ten championship.
I mean, who knows? Deacon Hill's the insurance, future insurance man. The Hill way. I don't know. I don't know what type of slogan he would come up with for his insurance company. But all right, it's time to get your favorite part of the preview show, the upset picks of the week. Robby, what is your first game that you are going to pick?
I'm going to ride with the hot hand, and I'm going to take Illinois over Iowa. We've had a lot of off-camera conversation about the man himself, John Paddock.
Apparently Altmaier, according to Bielema, is the starter, but it might not be. I don't know. It's
Hold
really
on, what?
yeah. It's actually really confused because I don't know because he's not saying he's the starter this week, but he is the starting quarterback. So it's sort of really.
You're telling me who
Yes, the old
that man deserves to get fired if he throws John Paddock out there. Fired.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
But I'm being serious. Like, how could you say, like, even if, like, the game was the biggest fluke, right?
Right.
You can't let a kid throw for 500 yards and 4 touchdowns and say, hey, man, you're going to sit on the bench this week. You're going to be just putting the headset on, charting plays. Like, sorry. And then go out to Iowa and lose because Altmaier ain't winning you that game. No shot. I'm not saying Paddock wins you the game, but Paddock gives you the best chance.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I am saying Paddock wins you the game because I kind of made that decision based off that, thinking Paddock would start. Paddock gives you the best chance to win the game, and I'm siding with Paddock in Illinois. But, I could look like an idiot because Altmaier could start, and then
Deacon Hill throws for 300 yards, and he's gonna be blooming for next season Heisman conversation. The offensive Iowa offense is gonna look very wagon like.
High?
No.
My gosh. He's not even gonna start next year.
Who is? It's not going to be
McNamara.
No.
So then McNamara can't leave. So you're just saying McNamara's career is over?
Yeah, basically.
Fine by me.
I mean, he wouldn't play in the NFL, right?
No.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, maybe he's an XFL, USFL legend.
He's gonna go join his boy. Pick my words, man.
All right. My first upset pick, and this is just completely off of not necessarily vibes, but I guess. Chip Kelly, they say he's gonna be gone after this game, but it's only a 6-point line. What does USC have to play for? Nothing. Maybe Caleb Williams just sits out.
Sorry, but the Caleb Williams ain't sitting out. UCLA guys want Kelly gone. Not that it matters because you can win a game 51-13 and still get fired because
it's 51-10 actually.
70-10. Well, who cares? They just paid the guy $76 million after he won a game and just fired him.
You see
Kelly's gone no matter what.
You see Henderson come out and say that that he was really surprised by all of the stuff that happened after the game. It was like, we just won 51-10. Our head coach got fired the day after. But did you watch his post-game speech after that Mississippi State win? He said y'all and not us. So I think he kind of had it.
I think he knew.
Yeah.
I think he came into that
you're
game
in that boosters room and you're in all those board meetings and stuff. You kind of know when your time's coming to an end.
Absolutely.
So I don't know. I think Chip Kelly's going to ride high and try to maybe find a coordinator job because he's a great offensive mind. I just think when you hear Chip Kelly talk about, the head coaching game in college football and stuff, he doesn't want to recruit. He doesn't want to put in all the dirty work. He just wants to coach the actual game. And that's why we probably see him as an analyst or as a coach. Or not coach, a coordinator somewhere else.
I wouldn't go. Yeah, sure. I don't know how much his offense.
But yeah, but before you finish that, give me the Bruins.
Chip Kelly, man, you do this, that'd be quite remarkable. It's quite a way to go out, but I think no matter what, win or lose, they are. The Bruins are going to be without Chip Kelly and more.
I'm just saying. I think it would just be a great way to, in your last game, to go out on top. And, I don't know. I also just, even though the UCLA offense is bad, USC defense is, statistically actually, one of the worst defenses in the country. And UCLA's got a defense that could stop USC. Or get stops on USC. Not necessarily stop them, but yeah.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. That's kind of how I feel about it. Robby, what is your second pick?
Hold on, I just want to make a comment real quick. No, I'm an idiot. Remember how I told you that you're like, who's Ohio State play this week? And I was like, they're on a bye. No, they play Minnesota. Don't know how I missed that. So once again, the most uncredible source of all time. Never listen to me. When I'm on this podcast. When I'm off this podcast, man, I'm ripping stuff off the dome and it's facts. But I swear I get behind this mic on this stinking StreamYard stream and I just lose all my brain cells. I had a hard time deciding what team to take as the second upset pick of the week. But I'm gonna take a bold one, a little bit of a bold one. And I'm gonna go back to the Big Ten. Rutgers over Penn State. Yeah, that's what it deserves because it's stupid. It's a dumb pick. But I'm gonna get bold.
Yard is just gonna.
I was talking smack about it, so it doesn't want to work anymore. It hurt me, man.
There you go. There you go.
That little duck in the left-hand corner just kind of told me to screw off.
Yeah, no. I thought about making that pick, but I kind of wanted to go somewhere else. But I mean, I get it because I talked to you about it before, when I made that, it's totally serious. Look ahead upset pick at Ford Field. What is the vibes in that Penn State locker room?
It's got to be divided. It's got to be. They're without their offensive coordinator, which I'm sure a lot of people are glad about, including Drew Aller. But there's got to be somewhat of a of a divide on the feelings toward James Franklin and whether or not they think he is the guy that's going to take them to the promised land. They can't get over the hump. And that's got to be an issue. There's going to be guys that have graduated now that have
said
there's got to
yeah.
there's got to be a few classes now that have came and went that haven't beat Ohio State or Michigan. And that's the pitch. When you come there, that's got to be the pitch. We want you guys to be. We think you guys are the difference. We think you guys are the team the class that's gonna beat the big dogs.
Yeah.
Have they played in the Big Ten championship?
I don't think so.
It's unacceptable, man.
I think Michigan State. I think Michigan State's played in the Big Ten championship last before Penn State. So
crazy.
That was like in 2015.
First one.
Yeah. Okay. My second upset pick of the week. So I thought about going Appalachian State, James Madison, but James Madison's gonna play like absolutely pissed off. So, and me and Robby are actually gonna get into this because I think it's retarded as fuck. But sorry, like it's actually the dumbest thing ever. Like, let me get my pick, and then we're gonna get into this. But I'm gonna go crazy with this because it's kind of bold, even though the line's only at 3.5. Give me Virginia over Duke.
What? I can't believe you actually took that on air.
I don't like Duke, dude. Like, they're playing with their third string quarterback. Yes, they put up 45 points against North Carolina. Whoop-de-doo. Like, yeah, I think we could take my local high school team and put up 14 against North Carolina. Okay, that's how much. That's how.
This guy's gone off the freaking deep end.
No, okay, but to be honest, though, like North Carolina, like for a Division I college football defense, like how legit are they? Not really. Like they're not good. Like that's just how I feel. Duke, they're good defensively, yes. They looked good with Grayson Loftus. But I mean, like Virginia, like as of recent, they're not looking like the worst. Calandria, he is the an oopsie daisy player where he's gonna make the big play. He's got big JMO vibes, not Jamison Williams, the real JMO, Jameis Winston. He dude, okay. I'm not even gonna have an argument with this about you. Jameis Winston is the real JMO. Jamison Williams he's an overrated NFL receiver. Is how.
And Jameis Winston is.
Hey, when you win a national championship, talk to me.
Oh my gosh! Didn't JMO win one?
No. Ohio State never won one, and Alabama didn't win it that year, buddy. He actually tore his ACL in that game.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So that's
and they lost to Georgia. Yeah.
Yeah, because Stetson Bennett.
Jameis Winston and that Florida State team wouldn't even make the playoff in this era of college football. No, I'm sorry. Nope. You're not convincing.
Maybe
you're telling me Georgia wouldn't house that team?
I'm just saying, man. They're a good team.
No, not as good.
Who is going to guard Kelvin freaking Benjamin when he was good at football? Wasn't Dalvin Cook the running back too?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, stop it.
Georgia's housing them, dude.
Stop it. Stop it.
That defense, Michigan's defense stops them.
Florida State had a good defense that year too, bud.
Who they have?
I couldn't actually. I was like freaking 10 years old, man.
Their offense was great.
Not even.
I can't lie. Their offense was great, and Jameson
defense mattered more back then than it does.
This is just proof. JMO, you got this JMO thing in my head now. It's Jamison Williams, not Jameis Winston.
No.
You can fight in the comment section for all you listeners.
Jameis Winston is the real JMO.
He's never heard him been called JMO.
You seriously?
The thing I know him for is eating W's, baby.
And big game James.
And robbing that Publix. Didn't he rob a Publix like on accident?
He's an interesting guy.
Won a Heisman at 19, though. That's crazy.
Yeah. He also did some other stuff at that age that we won't talk about on air.
Well, so
But
did every big superstar college athlete. No.
I don't know. He's definitely. I actually did watch that Saints Vikings game because I was at Buffalo Wild Wings, and he was like he had 2 touchdown drives, and then he ended up throwing like 2 picks. It was just like the most Jameis.
Bro, this guy, remember on the Buccaneers, threw for like 50 tutties and like 30
30,
picks.
yeah. Hey, he made history, man. That's all you can ask. He left a legacy.
He did.
Uh, but no, and back to the serious business. I just like Duke. Yeah, it's a good football team, but like I think they're not great, and I think Virginia can overcome them. That's kind of just how I feel.
We'll see. We
I mean,
shall
hey,
see.
hey, if we want to do the fucking dummy way of it, actually, well, yeah, Duke lost to North Carolina, and North Carolina lost to Virginia. I hate that way of thinking. Like seriously,
I hate it.
dude,
I
it's
hate
just
it.
so funny when it was like one year where like all the like chain of like teams losing to each other somehow related to the Jets being like the best team in the NFL a couple years ago. I love it.
See, when people do it that way, that's great.
Yeah,
That's just gold.
but no, I just think like I mean, especially with all the stuff that happened with Paris Jones last week too, like they're gonna play a little bit more hard as well. So I think we see a strong for a football program that's just dealt with more than enough the last 2 years.
Absolutely. All right. Can we talk about what needs to really be talked?
NCAA sucks. NCAA sucks. NCAA is the worst.
NCAA sucks. NCAA sucks. They
Worst
suck.
commission ever. Worst head of directors. How like what is the reasoning behind denying James Madison a shot at postseason play? Not just them, Jacksonville State and Tarleton State, which I'm pretty sure Tarleton moved up from Division Two to I think Division One FCS. But yeah, I mean, you're just basically like these seniors. Like, if I was a senior on this James Madison team or this Jacksonville State
I'd be
team,
demanding an extra year of eligibility.
yeah, like it's bullshit. Like, if you're not, you might as well let them play till they're like 30. Because guess what? They deserve to have. It's not even that they don't even get to play in the conference championship, which is bullshit. Like, I get the bowl game because, like, do bowl games really even mean that much? Well, yes, obviously to James Madison, but like in the whole perspective, like if you look at it from a balanced perspective, does it really matter for college football? No. But there'll also be in a New Year's Six game on national spotlight on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve. Like, it just like mind boggles me because you're basically like, there's no sense for the rule. Like, I seriously, when you look at it, like when I've talked to this about with some people that really don't follow college football that much because I think it's a way bigger problem than what it's being publicly. Like, this should be a national headline, like a national headline. It's garbage. Like, you're basically a team that's having success and winning in their first their second year in FBS. Like, they did it they would have made a bowl game last year too. Like, I hope everyone knows that. They were ranked in the top 25 and then they actually lost 3 straight games. So, but that's besides the point. Like, you can't let these kids like enjoy like having a great like last year, having a lot of success. And if you play in those games like on that national spotlight, like you get recognized a little bit more. And maybe you're a day 3 or an undrafted free agent. Like, it's just you don't want to give kids like national opportunity and also play at a higher level of competition. Like, is that what you're scared of? I don't get it. Like, if you're not going to let them play in postseason play, why let them play the season at all?
I couldn't tell you, man. It disgusts me just as much as it disgusts you, and I think all of us collectively as college football fans can agree the NCAA really
I've
does.
never seen anyone agree with this rule other than the fucking, fucking potheads that I don't even know. I'm talking out of my ass a little bit.
Oh, wow. This man is fired up.
Dude, no, seriously, like I don't understand the thought process of going in and making that law.
I don't either, man. And coming from an organization that you think would be pro the players and pro just
Well, when freaking
making things entertaining. This
when
is a
every
business, man.
single
People want to
talk
watch James Madison.
when every single college football talking head, like college game day going to college game day going to James Madison is huge because that's all they're
It's
gonna
them flipping off the NCAA and
well, no
saying, "Hey,
one
we're
likes the NCAA. I hope everyone realizes that they are not they're not a good run, you know. Oh, I can't even give them the title. I'm just absolutely,
who cares? They don't even
fired
deserve
up.
the actual."
Yeah, there's a reason why, when in 10 years when most people are still pissed off at this what organization? Yeah, I guess that's what we would call it.
Association.
Association, organization, whatever. Freaking it's not going to matter what they're going to be called because guess what? All these college football powerhouses are probably going to leave and start their own thing because the NC or the college football playoff teams generate so much profit and there's never going to be, legislation to let their players get paid and it's just they're going to move on and they should because when it comes to stuff like this, it just rubs me the wrong way. Like that's just how I feel at the end of the day. And if anyone from the NCAA board is listening to this, I know I never have a future there ever, but I don't even know if I want a future there.
Mike drop.
No, like seriously, it's just
Preach to the choir, man. I don't got anything else to add. I really don't. This is ridiculous. I want to see James Madison play just as much as everybody else. And the fact
it's
that these
not
kids
even
don't have the
that. They should
opportunity.
at least have the opportunity because in basketball with these teams that like I remember Bellemeyer a couple years ago, they played in the same conference actually as Jacksonville State for the God, I forget. I think it was the ASUN. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think so. Random memory just coming out of here. But guess what? They won their conference tournament and they couldn't play in the NCAA championship because they made the jump from Division II to Division I. So Jacksonville State, guess what? I believe they were the 15th seed that year, and they were allowed to play in the NCAA tournament because of this dumb rule. Like if you're good enough to win all those games and be in that place, you should be able to play them. And guess what? James Madison doesn't even get a shot to play in their conference championship, which that game versus Troy, it would be a good game too. Like it would be a game that I'd watch because I'm pretty sure it's frustrating.
It's infuriating for sure. But yeah, I don't got anything else to say on it. I really don't.
Yeah, like I don't know. All right, is there any other games that you want to talk about?
Not really. This is a dull week. It's a dull week, and I'm gonna let the dull week pass because there's a huge one coming up, and it's rivalry week.
I'll point out a few nice games. Holy crap, I'm losing my voice. I it just went into a rage, and now getting the NCAA is trying to mute me in real life with let my voice clog up. Florida Missouri could be really interesting. I think that's going to be a very high scoring game. See how Mizzou plays after the big win. Obviously, Kansas State, Kansas. Didn't put it on the agenda because it doesn't really matter. I just think Kansas is super injury riddled. Shout out to Jalen Daniels coming back. I think that's going to mean a lot for this program. But honestly, I think Kansas State's going to win by more than you anticipate or you would think. UNLV Air Force is a great group of 5 game. NC State, Virginia Tech could be interesting just if you really have nothing to do on a Saturday. I'm just pointing out, if other games get bad, be something to point out. I wish the Appalachian State James Madison game wasn't on ESPN Plus because I refuse to buy any ESPN product. Not that ESPN's even like a bad network. It's just I don't. I just don't. I like. What am I? I'm gonna buy it to watch Group of 5 football when there's other games that are streamed better. Now, I don't know. Of course, you can watch the Monday night game between the Chiefs and Eagles, on ESPN Plus. So I don't. I just like. It's not even that ESPN has a bad television product. It's when it comes to the reporting and the articles that I get like frustrated with.
Absolutely, it's not quality content anymore. It's biased, it's opinionated, and it's just not what broadcasting's meant to be.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, I'm very opinionated too when it comes to this.
This is a platform to be opinionated on, though. In the professional setting, as a journalist, you are supposed to be unopinionated, and they kind of go away from that. It's just it rubs me the wrong way and makes me not want to read or consume any of their content.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, ride with us throughout the rest of the season. It's going to get really interesting when we get to playoff time. Me and Robby are going to definitely take a deep dive into the playoff matchups when those comes and whoever gets selected. And we'll do a whole bowl pick 'em too, where we pick every single bowl game. We'll keep track of them each time we do an episode. And, when I'm 13-0 and Robby's like 7-6, just calling it, man. I know my stuff when it comes to these weird teams in the Idaho Potato Bowl. Thank you for watching. Yeah, we will see you next week when Ole Miss gets upset by UL Monroe.